Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
We're out here on this fine November day.
Autumnal.
Out here on your deck, and it's very nice. It's beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather for talking about
mead.
This big yellow thing. What do we got here?
We've got a 2.5 gallon batch of a metheglin, which is the fancy word for mead with spices.
Don't they make that on Breaking Bad?
They do. Actually, it's a wizard in the Lord of the Rings. Metheglin. So we made mead, and I made this very mead about 3 months ago.
So what we have here is we have the raw, freshly pitched product, and then we have the finished product right here. And I think this is the first time that we've done a mead episode where we have the whole process from start to finish, and we can see in the beginning and taste at the end.
That's right.
So why don't you take us through this wonderful stuff?
I'll do that. So we started off by heating 2 gallons of filtered water. That's H2O for you scientists. Well, I've just brought that up to a low simmer, so it just barely broke the bubble threshold. Then I added 5 pounds of a nice local clover honey, so a light honey, a really good honey, local Arkansas honey. And to that, so I incorporated that. To that, I added 6 ounces of pureed ginger, which I pureed with a little bit of water so it would be, liquidy, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. So that's the must. That's everything that's in here.
Now you also did a yeast nutrient.
After I cooled it to pitching temperature.
Okay, yeah.
So I cooled it down to pitching temperature, and then I added a teaspoon per gallon, so 2.5 teaspoons of yeast nutrient to this must. And cooled it down to pitching temperature, added the yeast nutrient, and pitched USO5 Saf
which is the California ale yeast, basically.
Yeah. But it will attenuate out, it'll ferment out rather quickly, and it does a great job, and it makes a really nice mead. So you don't have to use wine yeast or mead yeast. You can play around, and if you go way back in the archives, we've done some of that. So this is USO5, and it works very well.
So you fast forward and you aerate. You shake the carboy to aerate well, and then fast forward 2 months?
Well, let's see. I made the earlier version of this, which we bottled and we're going to taste in October, and early October. So, yeah, about 2 months.
Yeah.
And just kept an eye on it. It fermented. Actually, it was very active, really like a beer. It was very active for about 2 weeks, and then very little activity. I let it set for about a month, and then I racked it onto a secondary. When I racked it onto the secondary, I added 2 Camden tablets, and I added the
potassium sorbate.
Sorbate, yes. I'm sorry. So I added that according to directions. So just follow the directions, and that is a way that inhibits the yeast growth, so that when you go back and back sweeten it like I did today, you don't end up with a bottle bomb.
Right.
So anyway, so today what we did with the mead that we bottled was we heated up 1 pint of water, and I added 2 liquid cups of honey, of a very high quality honey. So the original honey was good honey, but not terribly expensive. The honey that I back sweetened with today was out of North Dakota, and it's kind of a fancy schmancy honey, very fragrant, very floral, really nice. So I back sweetened that up. I racked all of that into the bottling bucket. Actually, I racked the mead into the bottling bucket and then added the back sweetener. Stirred that all up. I added a tablespoon of acid blend. So one of the problems that I've always had with my mead early on when I was making mead was I didn't know what acid blend was. I didn't use acid blend, and I frequently thought kind of flabby. It really needs a little acid in there. It's like adding a little orange juice to a drink or something. It just gives it just a little bit of bite that really picks that flavor up.
It's kind of like what hops do to a malty beer.
Yeah, for sure.
Adds a little balance.
So I added a tablespoon of acid blend, and of course the honey that we back sweetened with. We bottled it up.
And you don't have to worry about priming because this is a still mead.
That's right.
And you don't have to worry about any more yeast activity since the potassium sorbate and the Camden tablets took care of that.
Yep.
So what we did was we took a little sample before the back sweetening.
And that's this.
And this has got cinnamon, or no, not cinnamon, ginger and
Marianne.
And the rest. Ginger and almond and vanilla.
Mm-hmm. And it's quite good.
Yeah, by itself, it's very tasty. Very nice. And it's not a very high, I mean, this started out, the original mead started out at what, 1070?
1073.
So not an extremely high gravity mead.
And
So
then
this is with the
this is backsweetened
sweetened. Cheers, by the way.
with 2 cups of honey into basically a 2-gallon batch. And that's really good.
That's really tasty.
And the acid blend, you can
Yeah,
catch that little pucker factor in there.
right.
That's not in this one. That's not in the unbacksweetened version.
Yeah, this one is, it's thinner. It's, like you said, a little more flabby, maybe. This one is, even though it's a lot sweeter, is better balanced. Very tasty.
So this will be delicious at Christmas.
It's delicious right now. Now, is there any advantage to aging this over time? I guess it might clear out a little bit. Some
I think
some sediment might
it'll
come
become
out of it.
prettier. I don't know that the flavors will change all that much. Although, that's part of the fun. Drink some now, drink some in 6 months, drink some a year from now. It's super easy.
Yeah,
It's super easy to do. The brew days, or whatever you call the mead day, is much shorter than brewing, especially for an all grain brewer. And as long as you don't spill stuff all over the place,
not that we've
ever done that. It goes really fast and there's not much mess. So,
Well, awesome.
yeah.
We hope you had a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, if you're in the United States,
You can still celebrate.
yeah, you can celebrate. You can eat a lot, drink a lot,
Yeah.
argue with your family, and fall asleep on the couch.
That's right.
That's
Throw another turkey on the Barbie.
there you go.
All right.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Come and visit us on the web. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Extract Brewing and Partial Mashing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, Introduction to Wine Kits, and our Basic Brewing Brewer's Logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to James at basicbrewing.com, Steve at basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.
Oh, but didn't make too much. No, it's fine. Whoa!